Yeah, hey guys, Romie here. So, first off, please like, comment, subscribe. I will say that this episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, it gave me some of the realest scenes I've ever seen on the show, and also some of the fakest and most contrived ones. So, this is the recap for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 5, Episode 9, Free at Last. And that whole Free at Last thing, that's a very interesting title considering today's Memorial Day, and also Roots, the reboot of Roots is on. But anyway, it starts off with Jessica Dimepiece, and she comes in walking into the skating ring as if she's like a Power Ranger or something. Either a Power Ranger or maybe one of the enemies that the Power Rangers had to fight. And so she's walking in like, what is going on? Why does Scrap have me here? I'm all dressed up type of thing. And I don't know what I was thinking last week, but Jessica Dive, like I said, she's cute in the face, so that's all that counts. And she doesn't have a bad body, it's just that you don't need to really get all those type of enhancements. Like I said, she was cute in the face, so you could always work from there type of thing. But she goes and she meets up with Jock. Jock is there because Scrappy couldn't let Jessica Dime know that, well, you know, I'm actually still feeling the band, so I can't do this whole relationship thing right now. No. Instead, he goes and has Jock go and meet up with her. And again, I'm thinking this is more so Mona. We know this is one of those things where it's Mona. And so Jessica Dime is irritated because, hold up. Sorry, all allergies. Yeah, so Jessica Dime is there and she's over it. She's just like, I want to go. Jock is thinking that, you know, he's a man, so he's gonna be able to work his magic and the mojo on Jessica Dime. He's even posing up and everything. And Jessica Dime's just like, no, I'm gonna take this rose. Bam! No. So I'm like, thank God Jessica Dime isn't a thought up in here. Now, speaking of thoughts, or thoughtish behavior, we have Tommy, who I really thought I was going to like this season. I really thought I was going to like her, but, you know, we can all be wrong. Tommy goes and she meets up with Stevie J. Stevie J is back in the bar business. Remember, he said he was going to go do business with this guy a while back, and Joseline, and I think even Mimi were like, no, you're not going to do it because this guy, or at least this type of business, it's not steady, it's not consistent. So you need something that is steady and consistent. And so Joseline, I mean Stevie, he's there and he's interviewing, I'm assuming, waitress and just staff in general. And here comes Tommy. Tommy's just like, well, you know what? Scrap's going away, and Scrap used to pay my bills. And because Scrap used to pay my bills, I need to go and create a side hustle. And I'm so irritated that everyone seems to want to do music as a side hustle. Music is not a side hustle thing. That's why a lot of people fail. They look at it as a money-making scheme. It is not. You put in more money than you'll ever make out of it for most people, especially small-time people. So, when, what's that girl's name? Tommy was like, you know, I'm here because I used to rap, and of course I'm an actress. I'm an all-around entertainer, baby. I had to go make that money since Scrap will be going away for a while. Look, I understand what Tommy was saying and how she was feeling, but at the end of the day, Stevie J can't help you with that. I'm sorry. He cannot help you with that. He can help you if you're a real established artist. Absolutely. If you're anything but a real established artist, then it's most likely not going to work out. But you know, Tommy's putting on the charm. She's showing her butt. She's being very flirtatious. She's doing everything she needs to do to make sure that Stevie J says yes. And Stevie's just like, you know, Scrap's my cousin, or no, Scrap's my nephew, and I love him, but I'm here for a new money-making opportunity. I'm like, Stevie, yeah, that's exactly what you're here for, okay. Alright, alright, alright. And we already know this is all a scam, so that's why I'm going to go right past that. We know that Tommy is an actress, and she's not really feeling Scrap the way that she's portraying it on the show. So, next we have Scrap, and we have, what's her name? Karlie Red. Karlie Red is actually driving Scrap's vehicle. And she's doing that because Scrap needs to tell her something. You know, I'm going to be going away for a while. You know, I'm going to be doing some time. 5 years, yeah. I know, baby. I know. It's going to be hard, but I need you to also be down for me. And Karlie is on the borderline about to cry because she's like, you know, no, regardless of what our relationship is or where it's progressed or where it hasn't progressed, you've been cool with me, and I appreciate that because I really don't have friends like that. So when someone's cool and seems to be down for me, I'm down for them 110%. That's not what she said, but I know that's what she meant. And I'm just like, Karlie, stop it. Stop it. We know this is all fake and contrived. And of course Tommy comes up, and of course Tiara comes up. And Karlie's just like, look, I'm not really friends with either of them. I'm cool with them overall, but at the end of the day, Scrap is here. I'm in his car. He's been down for me, even though it's been about a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, however long it takes for Karlie to truly feel like you're her friend. And so that's who she's really rocking with. And that's who she's going to continue to rock with. Anyway, after that, we have Dawn. We have Dawn and we have Joseline. And Joseline's just like, well, you know, Stevie isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing. Stevie hasn't been doing what he's supposed to be doing. And so here's what the case at hand. I found the contract. I finally found the contract. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I found the contract, and guess what? It's up. It was a 3-year contract for 30% of my total earnings. Now that it's been, of course, like 3.5 years, the contract is up and over with, and now I can go and do whatever I want, baby. I can go and do whatever I want. So I got me a lawyer, and I'm going to officially have a write-up. I'm going to go send it to Stevie just so that he knows. Because no one is the boss of Joseline except for Joseline. I'm like, okay, except for Dawn. Because we know Dawn's going to come in there somehow. She's going to come in there somehow and try and get her, what, 10%. But I'm like, it took Joseline 3.5 years to go and look under their bed to find a briefcase, to find the contract in it. That's what I think about that story. But you know, whatever. If that's what we have to go with, if that's what we're going to go with, then that's what we're going to go with. Shout out to Joseline because she's finally free. She can finally do whatever she wants. She doesn't have to contribute to Stevie J's baby mama fund. Because that's really what she's been contributing to for the last couple of years. That was the other part of the conversation. Where she's been contributing to Stevie J's baby mama fund. And so she's tired of it. And I would be too if I were her. Because remember, she got pregnant by Stevie as well. But she had the abortion. So anyway, we get past that. And we have Ernest with, what's her name? With Rashida's mom. And so they're having a conversation about Mama D. Ernest goes and drops a dime on Mama D. And, you know, just divulges the fact that Mama D actually has an alcohol problem and she's bipolar. Now, of course, for both, we can figure that out. But Ernest gave us more insight. Mama D had a car accident years ago. And it was a head-on collision. And as a result, she had, what was it, like knee or leg problems. And also hip issues. So she had to get surgery on both. And so it was downhill from there. Because she also, I think, had to get medication for that. And so she got a little addicted to that. And then after that, Ernest pulled her back into that street life where he would go and, you know, sell drugs, and she would assist, and he would pimp, and she would also be like his co-pimp. And so that's really how Mama D got into That's how Mama D got, dragged back into that lifestyle. And so that's the same thing that Mama D told us before. So I'm guessing, okay, at least that's real and authentic. And so he's just like, well, I need your help because I need you to also have a sit down with her eventually. Eventually, I'm going to go. She was just like, you guys definitely need counseling. You guys definitely need help because if she has an alcohol problem, then that's a huge thing because she was like, her father had an alcohol problem. So because of that, she understands how serious that is, and it makes sense why Mama D is so extra and doing this and that, because she's taking bipolar medication, but she's also drinking alcohol, and as we know, sometimes that negates the medication whenever you're on any type of medication. So I'm like, okay, that was a real conversation, that was authentic, and even them, they're like, see, now that's the real, that's the authenticness. Now, back to the fake. Tommy and Scrap. Tommy pulls up at Scrap's house, and I think Tommy was driving Scrap's car. And so she comes in and she's like, look, are you doing something with Karlie Red? Because why is this hotel bill in your car? Why did I just happen to find it in your car? And I was like, we know why you found it. It was because Karlie put it there. She wanted you to see it. We know Karlie is messy enough to where either she intentionally or unintentionally left it there, staking her claim. But at the end of the day, you're saying that you're not in a relationship with Tommy, so why does it really matter? And Tommy gets pissed. She shows him the statement. She goes and fights him. Security has to break it up because they're like, are they trying to have sex? What's going on here? What is going on here? So, after security breaks it up, it's just like, look, at the end of the day, Tommy does her usual crying act, and she's like, oh my God, what is this happening to me type of thing. And he's just like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? We're not in a relationship. We're not in a committed relationship. We're together, but we're not together, and you're acting a damn fool. This is why I can't deal with you. So we get past that mess, and we have Ernest. He invites his pastor and Mama D. Technically, it's a marriage counseling intervention of sorts. And Mama D's just like, look, we're going to get to the real because she's like, she loves her husband. She takes care of her husband. And he was just like, look, I know you love me, but you don't respect me. It's just like, well. And then Ernest goes and says, yeah, because she talks about me not making her like climax and do all this stuff. I'm just like, I don't want to hear this from y'all. I don't want to hear this from the two of you. I don't. Oh God. And the pastor looked like, wait a minute, I know we're taping, but you're gonna have to simmer down with that type of talk or rhetoric. That's not, come on now. Come on now. Stop it. Stop it. And Mom D's is like, what are you doing? That's the pastor. That's the pastor right there. Show some dang respect. And I was just like, well, if you're going to go and say that, then it's just like, yeah, well, it's because you can't get me there, and you can't do this, you can't do that. And he was just like, look, you two are in love, but you need to do some work. You need to do some work with yourselves and with your marriage. And I'm just like, okay, well, that didn't really help us. What was that session really about? I don't remember if we actually gained anything from that session. No. It was just so much foolery that even if he said something insightful, I can't remember it. So leave a comment below, let me know if you said anything insightful. Karlie Red is talking with Scrap because Scrap is confronting her about the fact that, you know what? What's her name? Damn, what's her name? Tommy was saying how she found this hotel receipt in my car, and of course Karlie was the one who actually paid for the hotel. And I was like, did you leave it there on purpose? Because I can't deal with this drama. Karlie's just like, of course I didn't leave it on purpose. What type of person do you think I am? Like, a messy person. Of course you left it there. And this is when Karlie's just like, even if I did leave it there, we're not, you're not in a relationship with her, so what's the problem? And she was just like, this feels like a love triangle, and I'm one of your pawns. It doesn't make any sense because you say you're not in a relationship. And so I'm just wondering why does this even matter? And it's just like, well, you know, I'm going away soon, so I just want to have fun, no drama. And it's just like, yeah, that's what I want too. So we're just going to enjoy each other and be in the moment and accept it for what it is. So after that, we have Joseline, and this was crazy. Joseline was put in Mimi's shoes, because Joseline, she goes and she sits down with Mimi, and she has this, like, she's dressed like Aaliyah, woman of the damned. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Joseline's just like, look, and Joseline's like, I need a drink, and she starts crying and doing all this huff in the puff. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with her? I'm like, what did she take? But no, it's about what Stevie did, what Steven did. She goes and tells Mimi that, look, Stevie has 2 babies mothers. This is one girl who I am zeering. No, I'm kidding. I don't remember what her name is, but she was just saying how, you remember the one woman who was in the blog saying that she had Stevie's baby or was pregnant with Stevie's child and she had the abortion? No, she didn't have the abortion. Because, you know, my homegirls in the stripper circuit, they wanted to give me this information. And I know it's true because I could actually trust them because they're reliable. And so this other girl, she's like, her son is around, what is it, like 1.5 years old or something like that? Something like that. No, it's still a baby. And so Stevie was trying to play it off, but I met the girl. I saw the documentation. Yes, the birth certificate has his name signed on it. Because he already went to court for child support. And Mimi, I'm just so tired of it. I'm just so tired of him because, you know, I finally got my contract. Yes, I got my contract and I can get out of it. I don't have to deal with Stephen Jordan anymore. I don't have to deal with this foolishness anymore. But it's just, it hurts me so much because he takes my money and he gives it to all the baby's mamas. He cannot afford to pay them each month, Mimi. And he takes my money, my earnings, and he gives it to them. And that's what he's been doing all of this time. And I just can't do it anymore. I can't deal with him. And Mimi was just like, well, damn. Who would have ever thought that I would have been sitting across from Joseline, watch and see her cry about, you know, babies and having to deal with the other women and all this stuff. I was just like, see how things come full circle, but at the end of the day, I know this is all Stevie's fault. I know it really is Stevie's fault. So I can't fault Joseline for acting this way or even confiding in me, because Stevie is a messed up individual. And she was just like, Joseline, that's why when Stevie came over to my house, I told him that I needed to speak with you first about him potentially living there for the short term, because I knew that there was something that he wasn't telling me. I knew that there was something extra that he wasn't informing me. It's just like, yes, Mimi, he's a liar. You know for a fact that he's a liar, and that even if you talk to him and ask him, he won't tell you the truth because he always wants to be in the position of control. But he can't control me anymore, and I don't want him in my house. And maybe it's just like, you're married to him. You are actually married to him now at this point. That's what we're going with. So you can't just say, oh, I don't want him. That is your husband. You're supposed to work things out. Joseline has it right. It's like, no, I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is be loyal to Joseline. I'm like, there we go. Finally, someone who gets it. If he is not doing what he needs to do, or if she's not doing what she needs to do, you don't have to stay. You do not have to stay, especially when you don't have kids involved. If that person is acting up, then you can leave. You can bounce, even if it's for the short term. Mimi doesn't understand that because she's used to dealing with people's BS. She's used to just accepting it and just moving forward, especially with Stevie. So she's going to go and have a conversation with him to see if he's going to tell her the truth about, you know, him potentially having 2 extra mouths to feed. Mimi's just like, Lord Jesus. Stephen Jordan, thank God I dodged a bullet. I was just like, wow, how things come full circle. How things come full circle. And so Karlie read, damn, finally. She's doing her Playgirl radio show. And the interesting thing about that radio show is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but where she was doing it, I'm like, wait a minute. This looks like someone's studio, makeshift studio, out of someone's apartment. This does not look like an official place where everyone goes to record. Or maybe it is, and so that's why it was so stripped down. I don't know. Anyway, so she was done with it, and so she walked out to go and get some water. And my whole thing is, okay, so there's Mona in the background saying, alright, so, you know, the one and only Tommy is going to be coming in, and so I need you to go get some water. Just make an excuse to go into the kitchen. By doing so, we'll have Tommy come in. So once she opens that door, you're going to go and you're going to turn your back. You're going to look forward and say your lines. Ready, set, go. I'm like, now Mona. Now Mona. So afterwards, there you get to talking. It's just like, okay, so Karlie, you trying to play me? You trying to play me? That's how Tommy was essentially acting most of the time. It's just like, look, at the end of the day, Scrap's saying that you guys aren't in the relationship. And you know, I tried to be friends with you. I tried to talk with you. I tried to break bread with you. But at the end of the day, you went and said you didn't want to hear from me. You didn't want to hear about me and my messy antics. So, with that being said, I made sure not to tell you about this. This is your fault. This isn't my fault. This is your fault. And, Scrap told me that you guys weren't in a relationship, so that's what I was going with. I was just like, oh, so I guess the whole thing about you and this hotel bill, because of course Scrap doesn't have any money of his own, so I know you paid for this. It must be true though. It's just like, what if it is? So it's like, oh, okay, so you slept with him? It's like, no, we didn't sleep with each other yet. I'm just like, okay, Karlie. Okay, so are you telling me that you guys maybe ate at the hotel? Is that how that works now? All these restaurants in Atlanta and you ate at the hotel, is that why you had the hotel bill? Alright now. So, she was just like, look, you're not going to play me, he's not going to play me, no one's going to play me. So Tommy goes and does her usual thing of, she gets up on the table, ready to go after Karlie, and the security whooshed in faster than this, grabbed Karlie, whooshed her back, and 3 security guards went after Tommy. Because they already know Karlie isn't the problem. Tommy is. Tommy will get that ass. So they made sure to stop Tommy. And made sure to not have Karlie get within swinging distance. To get hit. I was like, damn. Is Tommy that much of a physical threat? Yes, she is. So that was it. Next week, it looks like it's going to be mainly about Scrap. And also, Mimi is going to have a conversation with CVJ. So again, we're finally going to get to more of the real working parts of these people's lives next week. So please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week. Oh yeah, and I also review shows. I know it's summer TV, so the format's going to be a little different. Wayward Pines. I'm also going to be reviewing when it comes on. Greenleaf. I'm also going to review... what's that show? Haves and Have-Nots when it comes back on. And a bunch of other stuff. And I also talk about pop culture topics and all of that. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'm sure there's something there